else can better tell us about storytelling in dashboards than Ivan Mitringa? Ivan will be speaking about why is data visualization and storytelling important.
So thank you for inviting me into this session, and I'm really pleased to talk about storytelling. It's one of my passions which I had, and I will start probably with this slide, which is pretty much stating that this concept is ultimately not new, right? It has existed there for a long time in various shapes and forms, and one of the famous examples is probably, if you look at the picture on the right, it's a picture which is depicting a situation back in 1854 where there was a cholera outbreak in London, and there was a doctor named John Snow who was trying to locate the outbreak source based on existing data, right? Initially, he wasn't really successful, but then he decided just to take a map and a pencil and plot the cases on the map, right? When you see those stacks on the map, that's the amount of cases per each place. And what he basically discovered by putting the data to the visual, that most of the cases were clustered around the water pump, which is in the middle of the chart, which basically destroyed the existing theory at the time that cholera can be spread only by air, right? And again, it was just that he took a paper and a pencil and located based on that visuals, where that source is, right? And that nicely ties to the statement on the left, right, on the top left, which says the greatest value of the picture is when it forces us to notice things which we never expected to see. And that's pretty much all with the data visualization and ultimately storytelling, because we as humans are wired to listen to the stories and imagine things, right? And that's somehow connected with all of this topic. I would like to walk you through what we have done in Dell in terms of the data story and the visualization on the next slide. Basically, the data visualization is only one part of the large initiative what we have in Dell. That initiative is called the CFO org of the future, and we have initiated sometimes back in 2018. We set up this initiative inside the CFO org with the skill set required, basically to improve the skill set required in the near future, which would make the CFO organization much more efficient, productive, and drive even more the value than it is right now, and to improve as well decision making, right? The journey starts inside Dell when we talk about this CFO org of the future. The journey starts with a simple certification. Each CFO member has to go through a certification which we call internally digital awareness or digital adoption, and it's basically a set of courses which every CFO team member has to go through, which are basically talking about this initiative so that they can understand why we are rolling it out, but as well the basics of 3 pathways which we decided to pursue in the CFO, and that's RPA, Advanced Analytics, and Data Visualization. Each of these pathways has been elaborated on different levels. So we have beginner, intermediate, advanced, and then we have as well a special level for leaders. I'm usually joking around it that we need to be dangerous enough to understand and lead, right? So we probably don't need to know how to code, but we need to understand the concept and lead the teams through this change. Secondly, important thing is that these initiatives are rolled out to every team member and every organization in the CFO. But it depends really on the organization which way they are going to go and where they will focus their attention, right? If there is an organization like we have credit collections, which is basically organization which handles a lot of transactions, probably most of their time will be spent on the RPA and not data visualization, right? So it depends where you are, but everybody has the same access. Me and my team has decided to look at the data visualization and storytelling because we are part of the product group team, and we are basically a corporate function. And as I'm leading one of those line of businesses, and my headquarter actually is 14 hours away in Texas. It is very difficult to be connected all the time with the senior management and the leaders there. And that's why that 14 hours difference forces us to think like, how are we going to convey the message to the leadership that they understand what's going on in the business, and we have only a limited time, right? Second one is that we have a lot of categories within my portfolio, and it's really complex really to understand all the movements. So we are pretty much forced to be more concise and be more accurate and convey the message really on the executive level, right? And then we basically the way how we disseminate all of these initiatives within Dell are through couple of ways. One is the online pre-recording trainings, which can be in-house, done by SMEs in Dell, or it is a collaboration with the external companies. We have, as well as part of this CFO org of the future, we have a specific team who is leading it, which sits under the CFO, and they have tons of data scientists, RPA developers, and data engineers. So these guys are making sort of trainings for us as live demonstrations as well. And then ultimately, like almost any knowledge, you have to do some self-study and practice as well, right? The learning on the job is probably the most important. So what we have done with my team is that we basically had to step up that game and be really the role model for the rest of the organizations. And all of us has done at least the basic level, if not the intermediate level, in all of these data visualization pathways. Each one of us, including me, have started to work on some specific topic within that visualization software. And again, one of the mantra which I have really is to lead the people by being a role model. So whenever we roll out these specific initiatives, I'm trying to be the first one who is going through that and showing the team that even me, who is within the company for 18 years, can change and lead these initiatives, right? And the last part of this, I would say, overall change is as well that don't forget to share it across the organizations. We have, as part of this initiative, we have regular quarterly forums, which are called innovation forums, and basically all of the organizations which already has done some projects or some improvements in the areas, they are actually presenting to the rest of the organization the improvements and the things what they have already achieved, and that basically serves as an inspiration for the rest of the team members. Okay. What I would do is probably, that was my main slide, but what I would do is probably go into some examples where it can lead to, right? So first example, as it is right now on your screen, is basically the first thing which you gain by all of this practice and the learning is really the improved technical capabilities in whatever visualization software you choose, right? These softwares and these capabilities basically enable us to analyze the trends, spot the anomalies very quickly. And what's important is to put the current quarter, month, week data into a larger perspective through trends, right? This is very important for that storytelling, because you can be caught up in the situation where you compare things only to versus a certain portion of your business or a certain time period. But if you look at it in the grander scheme, and you can really only spot it when you have a good or a great actually visual which tells half of the story. Of course, you as a storyteller are probably the most important person there. But really, these technical capabilities are important to set the scenes for those dashboards and the visual storytelling, right? What we have done in this phase is that we have embarked on the as part of that advanced analytic, right? Out of these three streams: RPA, advanced analytics, and data visualization. We have embarked on machine learning as well. So basically, what we have done, we have developed a bot, basically a chatbot, where you can ask the chatbot. Actually, we named him Jarvis. You can ask any financial question which you have, like, what was the growth of your business in that quarter? You type it in, and that bot will tell you the numbers and tell you the answers. So this is one way how we are testing these fields of AI and machine learning to help us when we need to craft a story and we don't have the data handy. We quickly go and talk to the Jarvis. On the next page, you can basically take those visuals, and this is an example of actually something like a storyline or a storyboard, which you can create as a blend of those visuals, which we talk about, and as well your own text, your own story, right? Because as I said, the visual is only half of the story. You are the one who should be the star. And again, especially these days with these global teams, you have very limited time to interact with everybody, and it's a good. I think it's a good habit to put your thoughts into a document like this. And whenever somebody has a question about your business, you have it handy. It's packed with visuals. It's packed with the storylines. You can share it with your senior leadership, and they basically will see that not only you can highlight the key takeaways, but you can put the story in the way that they can take it and present it. Because as I usually say, you never know where your slides will end or where your story will end, and it's nothing more efficient than when your leader take what you have done and just share it with somebody else, and doesn't have to spend the time to redo the things, right? And then the last part would be, if we can go to the last slide, which is basically that you become ultimately a strategic business partner, right? You are there to craft a story. They will invite you into strategic discussions and tables, and based on all what you know, you are able to craft a simple storyline from the data available, concise it, and make it really understandable for even the most senior leadership. And again, you don't have to have a tons of text. You just need a storytelling visuals with a couple of points, and you are there to complement the storyline, right? I think that is very much what I wanted to say, and probably the last point is that the great thing on the data storytelling is that it's about communication. That means it's about getting through what we wanted to say, and getting through means that not only you send the data and show the data, but you are requiring the other parties to understand it, right? Rather than just informing, right? That's the difference between communication and informing, where informing, you just send the data and that's it. While with the communication, you have that back and forth, and you both can grow at the same time. Thank you.